We often hear about universal laws, ideas that govern the way the cosmos operates, guiding our reality like invisible hands. But here's what most people don't realize: there's a hidden law, so profound, so elusive, that only those who are truly awake, the chosen ones, ever grasp its essence. It's not because it's complicated or requires years of study. No, it's because this law isn't something you can simply read about and understand. It's something you must experience. You must feel it deep within your soul. And the question you need to ask yourself is, do you truly want to understand? Now, you might wonder, what makes someone a chosen one? Is it destiny? Is it a set of criteria that the universe has predefined? I want you to sit with this for a moment. Ask yourself, have I been chosen? Can I sense this hidden law in my life? If you're asking these questions, chances are you're already on the right path. But the truth is, becoming one of the chosen isn't about being special in the way society defines it. Instead, it's about being open. Open to life's mysteries, to the subtle forces that guide us, and to the fact that so much of what we think we know is simply an illusion. You see, this hidden universal law isn't about manifesting wealth or achieving success. It's not about attracting material things into your life. That's where many go wrong. The law I'm talking about goes beyond all that. It's about alignment, about becoming attuned to the deeper forces that shape your existence. And here's the kicker: most people will never even realize it exists. Why? Because they're too caught up in the noise, the distractions, the endless pursuit of things that don't matter. They're asleep.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But you're different. You're listening to this for a reason. You're not content with the surface level understanding of life. Deep down, you know there's more. There's a hidden mechanism that governs why things happen the way they do. And it's not random. It's not chaos. It's a beautifully orchestrated dance of energy, intention, and consciousness. Those who understand this law live in alignment with it, and they experience life in a way that others can't even begin to fathom. Now, this law has been called many things throughout history: the Tao, the flow, the divine current. But what it's called doesn't matter. What matters is that it's real, and it's working in your life whether you see it or not. The chosen ones, those who truly understand, they've learned to see the patterns, the synchronicities, the moments when life seems to be speaking directly to them. They've learned to trust in the unseen, to move with the current instead of against it. And this is key. This law is about flow, not force. It's about surrender, not control. So, I want you to ask yourself, where am I forcing things in my life? Where am I trying to control outcomes when instead I should be allowing things to unfold naturally? The chosen ones understand that resistance only leads to more struggle. And when you resist this hidden law, you're essentially fighting against the universe itself. Imagine swimming against a powerful river. You might make progress for a while, but eventually you'll tire. You'll be swept away. But if you learn to flow with the current, to trust the direction it's taking you, you'll find that life gets easier. Doors start to open. The right people, the right opportunities, they show up as if by magic. This is the essence of the hidden law: alignment over effort, trust over control, faith over fear. It's not about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about understanding when to act and when to let go. When you can do this, you begin to live in harmony with the universe, and that's when the magic happens. Surrender. It's a word we often misunderstand. For many, surrender means giving up, admitting defeat. But in the context of this hidden universal law, surrender is not weakness. It's not a lack of action. In fact, it's one of the most powerful things you can do. because surrender in this sense is about trust. It's about recognizing that there are forces at work in your life that are far greater than what your conscious mind can comprehend. It's about acknowledging that, while you have free will, you are also part of something much bigger, something you can't control. But here's the thing: most people are terrified of surrender. Why? Because it requires them to let go of their need for certainty, for control. And let's face it, we are conditioned to believe that we must control every aspect of our lives. From the time we're children, we're told to set goals, make plans, and work hard to achieve them. And while there's nothing wrong with having goals, the chosen ones understand that there's a fine line between working towards something and trying to force an outcome. So let me ask you, where in your life are you trying to force something that isn't flowing? Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a career path. Maybe it's a dream that just doesn't seem to be manifesting the way you want it to. Whatever it is, I want you to consider the possibility that the reason it's not happening is because you're trying to control it. You're holding on too tightly, and in doing so, you're blocking the flow of the universe. The chosen ones, those who understand this hidden law, they've mastered the art of surrender. They know when to act and when to let go. They understand that sometimes the greatest act of courage is not in pushing harder, but in stepping back and allowing life to guide them. They trust that the universe knows what it's doing, even when things don't make sense. And this trust, it's not something that comes easily. It takes practice. It takes faith. But once you've tasted the freedom that comes from surrender, you'll never want to go back. You'll realize that the more you let go, the more life gives you. The more you trust, the more the universe reveals its secrets to you. And this is where the chosen ones live, in that space of deep trust, of effortless flow. They've learned that surrender is not about giving up on their dreams. It's about giving the universe the space to work its magic. It's about co-creating with the divine forces that are always at play, even when we can't see them. Now, I want you to think about a time in your life when things just seemed to fall into place, when everything flowed effortlessly. Maybe it was meeting the right person at the right time. Maybe it was an opportunity that came out of nowhere. Whatever it was, I'm willing to bet that you weren't forcing it. You weren't trying to control it. It just happened. That's what living in alignment with the hidden law feels like. Things just work. Not because you're lucky, but because you're in tune with the flow of the universe. So the question is, how can you cultivate that kind of trust in your life? How can you learn to surrender even when things aren't going the way you want them to? The chosen ones know that surrender isn't about waiting for life to deliver everything to you on a silver platter. It's about showing up, doing the work, but then releasing your attachment to the outcome. It's about trusting that if something is meant for you, it will come to you. And if it doesn't, something better is on its way. This is the paradox of surrender. The more you let go, the more you receive. The more you trust, the more the universe aligns itself in your favor. It's a law as old as time, but only those who are truly awake can see it. And now, you're starting to see it too. Patience. It's one of the most difficult virtues to cultivate, especially in a world that moves as fast as ours does. We live in a time where everything is instant. Instant communication, instant gratification, instant success, or at least the illusion of it. But here's the truth: the universe doesn't operate on your timeline. It has its own rhythm, its own pace. And this is something only the chosen ones understand. They know that everything unfolds in divine timing, and they trust the timing, no matter how long it takes. But let's be honest, waiting is hard. It's frustrating. We want things now. We want answers now. We want results now. But the hidden universal law doesn't work that way. It requires patience. It requires trust, not just in the process, but in the timing of that process. And this is where so many people struggle. They give up too soon. They lose faith because things aren't happening as quickly as they want. But what they don't realize is that sometimes the waiting is the most important part of the journey. You see, the universe is always working behind the scenes, preparing things for you that you can't even imagine. But it can't deliver those things until you're ready to receive them. And that readiness doesn't come from impatience. It comes from growth. It comes from learning the lessons that only time can teach. The chosen ones understand this. They know that every delay, every setback is actually part of the plan. It's preparing them for something greater. So I want you to think about something in your life that you've been waiting for. Maybe it's a dream you've been working toward for years. Maybe it's a desire that feels just out of reach. Now ask yourself, what if the reason it hasn't manifested yet is because you're not ready for it? What if the universe is waiting for you to grow into the person who can handle that dream, that desire, that success? This is the power of patience. It's not about sitting idly by waiting for life to happen to you. It's about trusting that the universe knows the perfect time for everything. And in the meantime, while you're waiting, it's about becoming the person who is worthy of receiving what you've asked for. The chosen ones understand that the waiting is not wasted time. It's sacred time. It's time for reflection, for growth, for preparation. But here's the challenge: how do you stay patient when everything in you wants to rush the process? How do you keep the faith when you're not seeing the results you want? This is where trust comes in. Trust in the unseen. Trust that there's a bigger picture that you can't fully grasp yet. The chosen ones know that the universe always delivers, but it delivers on its own terms, not yours. And here's something else to consider. Sometimes the delay isn't about you at all. Sometimes the universe is orchestrating things that involve other people, other situations, other events that need to align before your desire can manifest. It's not just about you. It's about the bigger picture, the interconnected web of life that we're all a part of. So the next time you find yourself getting frustrated with the timing of things, ask yourself, what lesson is the universe trying to teach me in this moment? What part of your journey requires more patience, more trust, more faith? The chosen ones live in this space of trust. They don't get discouraged by the waiting. They understand that the waiting is part of the preparation. They know that when the timing is right, everything will fall into place. And when it does, it will be better than they could have ever imagined. This is the power of patience. It's not about passivity. It's about active trust. It's about knowing that the universe is always working in your favor, even when you can't see it. And when you can live in that space of trust, when you can be patient with the process, you open yourself up to receive the gifts that the universe has been preparing for you all along. Now that we've explored surrender and patience, we come to the final key: alignment. This is where everything comes together. This is where the chosen ones truly separate themselves from the rest. Alignment is the ultimate state of being. It's when your mind, body, and spirit are in harmony with the flow of the universe. It's when you're no longer pushing against the current of life, but instead moving with it. And this, my friends, is where true power lies. But what does it mean to be in alignment? And more importantly, how do you get there? You see, alignment isn't something you can force. It's something you cultivate. It's a state of being that comes from deep within. And it starts with self-awareness. The chosen ones are deeply self-aware. They understand their strengths, their weaknesses, their desires, and their fears. They know what makes them tick, and they've done the inner work to confront the parts of themselves that are out of alignment. So let me ask you, where in your life are you out of alignment? Maybe it's in your relationships. Maybe it's in your career. Maybe it's in your health. Whatever it is, I want you to take a moment and really think about it. Because here's the thing, when you're out of alignment, everything feels like a struggle. Life feels heavy. You feel disconnected, not just from the universe, but from yourself. And that's because alignment isn't just about being in tune with the universe. It's about being in tune with you. The chosen ones have mastered this. They know that in order to align with the universe, they must first align with themselves. They've taken the time to understand their desires, their purpose, their mission in life, and they've let go of anything that doesn't serve that purpose. This is key, letting go, because you can't align with the universe if you're holding on to things that aren't meant for you. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a dead-end job, or limiting beliefs, you have to be willing to release what no longer serves you. But here's the challenge: letting go isn't easy. It requires you to trust that the universe has something better in store for you. And we've already talked about how difficult trust can be. But the chosen ones have learned that trust and alignment go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. When you trust the universe, you naturally fall into alignment with it. And when you're in alignment, life flows. It's as simple as that. So how do you get there? How do you move into alignment with the universe? It starts with listening. Listening to your intuition. Listening to the subtle nudges that life gives you every single day. The chosen ones are masters of this. They've learned to quiet the noise of the outside world and tune into the inner world. They know that the answers they seek aren't out there, they're within. And once they tap into that inner knowing, they follow it without hesitation. This is where the magic happens. When you're in alignment with the universe, things fall into place effortlessly. Opportunities show up at the right time. The right people come into your life. And it's not because you're lucky. It's because you're in tune with the flow of life. You've learned to trust the process, to surrender to the timing, and to let go of what no longer serves you. But here's the final question I want to leave you with. Are you ready to align with the universe? Are you ready to step into the flow of life and unlock your true potential? Because this hidden universal law is always at work. It's always guiding you, always leading you toward your highest good. But it's up to you to align with it. It's up to you to take that leap of faith, to trust in the unseen, and to surrender to the flow of the universe. The chosen ones have done this. They've mastered the art of alignment. And now it's your turn. Are you ready?